Us men are going to inherit that spiritual power, man. Right now, what you people are witnessing is spiritual power in itself. Because your churches, your pastor, your grandmommy, your daddy don't got the truth. They're full of lies and deceit, man. Pride. Not knowing who they are. It says, John 5:28, marvel not at this, for the hour is coming, in the which all that are in the graves shall hear his voice. The elect, the ones that are in their graves are coming up, popping up. Resurrection, a great awakening. Resurrect. The revival. To be revived. Okay? What do I have over here? Let me get this one real quick. This is Hosea 5:6. Come and let us return unto the Lord Yahweh, for he hath torn and he will heal us. He hath smitten and he will bind us up. After 2 days he will revive us, and in the third he will raise us up, and we shall live in his sight. Just like Yahweh Shai. Even though, you know, it was a 7-day process, he was the sacrificial lamb. You know, he didn't resurrect on a Sunday, because that's how the people try to tell you. That's why they try to say that's the Lord's day. That's the day of the worshiping of the sun, man. You know, when you do your research, you find about Monday's the moon day, Thursday's Thor's day, Wednesday is what's his name? I always keep been forgetting that Norse god's name. Cause you have Thor. What's his father's name? Y'all brothers know what I'm talking about. But he's also he comes in the movie American Gods, and in the movie his name is Wednesday, because that day is in honor of him. Odin. That's it, Odin. Okay? It says after 2 days he will revive us. That's right, man. He's bringing us back to life. You know? This is Revelations chapter 11 verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is America, or the whole world, basically, because you got Israelites everywhere, but primarily here in Great Babylon, aka America, man, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. And they of the people and the kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in the graves, for them to rest. Right? In a sense. Because whenever you bury the dead, you're putting them to rest, right? So it's the opposite effect with the Lord. The Lord says that we are in the grave, but he's going to bring us to life. He's going to revive us out of that state of ignorance, of being blinded to the truth. But it says that they're not going to trouble themselves to bury you. Okay? Meaning that there's a dishonorable burial. They don't want you to have peace. So you're out here just wandering around dead, looking all dumb. Right? It says, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth. And that's right, we're tormenting these people, man. That's why the decline of America is going down, man. The moral thing of America, I don't shake hands, man. The moral thing of America, it don't do that. The morals of America are falling. There's nothing good here, man. That's why the poverty level has risen. The crime has risen. You know? There's so much things that are wicked and evil have surpassed anything that is good. You know?
Unfortunately.
It says, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life, that's right, because that's the words of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, man. Even when Peter asked the Lord, he says, who shall we go to? For thou hast the words of eternal life. You know? Even the Lord said his words are spirit and they are life. Okay? And it said the spirit of life shall return. It says, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them. You see? That's why everybody's seeing us on the highways and the byways, in the streets, in the chief place of concourse, crying out, showing our people the transgressions, or showing them who they are as a people. All right, whether it be by way of exhortation, rebuke, instruction, meekness, or rebuke, man, sharply. It's still prophesied and it's still going to happen the way it's happening right now. This is the organic way of putting out the word, truth. Not being in your own comfort zones in these churches that are built by hands, corrupt hands. It says, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them. It's talking about the elect waking up. And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. That's why these people out here, they don't understand. Well, what is he doing out there? He looks crazy. Why is he wearing that thing? He looks crazy. He don't know what he's talking about. Because really, y'all are afraid, man. Y'all don't have the wisdom. Y'all just know John 3:16. That's it. Like that's gonna save your life, and you don't even know what that means. And they that heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. That's right. So that's what we're waiting on, to be called up. That's how we know we've finished our course. We're done. It's over. Once that happens, man, it's done. And the fun is going to begin. The fun has begun when that's done. And we're going to see who's holding the gun. No, I was playing. I ain't trying to freestyle. But yeah, it says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither, and they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. You see? Because right now they're not making any account of our labors. They're not saying, hey, they ain't doing nothing. But once that happens, then they're going to know once and for all. But be in great torments, to be in complete torment and destruction, man, and of unsurety, to be engulfed in flames of fire, like I was reading earlier. You know, because they refused to bow down. Matter of fact, let me get this one in Peter's, because there was something I had read earlier about them. Oh, it's in Thessalonians. But there was a verse that I read in Peter's. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. And I'm going to start at verse 7. It says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. And we're telling you who the mystery of iniquity is, Esau. All right? With his witchcrafts that he selleth the nations by way of his doctrines, his philosophies, religion. You know? He selleth the nations by these things, man. It's pseudoscience. Or him claiming that he's the people of the Lord. The mystery of iniquity doth already work. And during the time of Peter and them, who was working? The Romans. Only he who now will let until he be taken out of the way. So the Lord is allowing this man to rule. Scriptures say he giveth the earth into the hand of the wicked, who changeth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Job 9:24. Right? And then shall the wicked be revealed from the Lord, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. That's those chariots. Or a word spoken, or a thought. by way of this word, man. Because the scriptures say that your own sin shall be accusers and your judges in that day, or where you're gonna be led to. You're gonna be reminded. You're gonna be shown why you're being killed, being destroyed. It says, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Chariots, the laser beams, the ICBM missiles are going to be let loose out here. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. See, in the nations that are finding out, America's full of shit. They never did a moon landing. It's like it. They never did a moon landing. There's a lot of things Esau hasn't done and hasn't even achieved. He can't even get past a certain barrier in the ocean. How much more the heavens? There's a certain barrier he can't cross. Still trying to with Elon, what was that? Elon Musk with his Tesla car. It's not even 100% he can drive on his own. He can't do shit. They're still at that mediocre level, that low level of technology. The angels in the church, they ain't got to touch nothing. They just move, and the vessel moves with them. It's just like music. A certain beat, rhythm, and starts making you move. That's power, man. And the chariots of the Lord, the angels, they ain't doing nothing. They ain't touching nothing. They ain't got to do nothing. They're just there. I don't know if they're sitting down or standing up. Either way, they're in there, and they're just, it's all by way of the Spirit, man. You move, we move. It's all order. Power, man. It says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. See? So they had pleasure in unrighteousness more than they had pleasure of the Most High. They didn't want to retain the Lord in their minds, man. They forsook it. They cast it away. They turned back. They pulled the shoulder back, stopped their ears from hearing the word. Even the 2/3 have blood on their hands of the prophets of Yahweh Shai. It says, and for this cause Yahweh shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. That's why they believe in their own bullshit. Nah, things are gonna get better. This is gonna pass over. Everything's in lockdown from the east to the west coast, and it's making its way to the middle of the Midwest, man. We know that. Everything always starts in the east and the west, Cali, New York, and it makes its way down. It makes everything. Then we're the last ones to get a lot of shit. So like the east and the west, they're like, ahead of time before us when it comes to certain trends and shit like that. So eventually it's gonna come. Here in my city, they already got their second confirmed coronavirus. They're already sending letters to businesses who are gonna be non-essential and essential, meaning that who are gonna stay open and not open. They already got lines. They're already only allowing a certain amount of people going into the grocery stores, into certain stores. I think HEB is only 50 people at a time. And then you got Academy. I went over there the other day to find a backpack, and they were counting us where they had the designated areas where you could stand, that 6 feet apart thing. And I didn't get the number on how many were able to go into the Academy, but they're already doing that here. But come soon, they're gonna lock this place. They're gonna lock San Angelo down too. People think that's not gonna happen here. It's not up to Donald Trump. Donald Trump don't control nothing, man. You got higher people, that powers that be, that control this thing, man. The WHO, the CDC, the FDA, all these different these great organizations, they're controlled by these people, man. Not Donald Trump. Donald Trump don't control nothing, man. He's just a puppet. All right, just a representation of your true nature. Talking about you so-called white people. That's how y'all really are. Donald Trump is an arrogant, pompous individual, man. Full of subtlety and lies. That's all that is. It's just a representation, a visual of for us not to forget who you really are by y'all's true nature. Ignorant, foolish, wicked, murderers, proud. From the least to the greatest, from the elderly to your infants. Wicked. And the Lord's going to bring judgment for that, man. To deliver his people, the Israelites, the Negro, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Whether you hear or forbear, it's going to happen. It says that they might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. You see? So they don't love the ones that are of the Lord. They don't love the elect. So they're going to leave their bodies out there. They're going to leave you out there in the cold. But the Lord was like, hell nah, come over here. I got you. God has wound us up, swaddled us, cradled us, breastfed us, raised us up, taught us, sealed us up. That's what he did, man. King David even said that. King David said, when my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord is going to pick me up, basically, in the book of Psalms. The elect are going to be all right. They're going to be good. No? You got to cast all your cares upon Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. He'll take care of you. He's going to take care of the rest. But we know the prophets, they were in certain situations where they cried out to the Lord and it seemed like they were in distress. But the Lord, they always remembered. At the end of that distress, that prayer, calling out for deliverance and their complaint, they always resorted back to saying what? The Lord is my deliverer. The Lord is my stronghold. The Lord is the one that's going to keep me from evil. That's going to protect me from my enemies. Always. Yahushua did it. Jeremiah did it. All the men of the Lord did it. King David did it. The longest book in the Bible, the book of Psalms, did it. All that was about that. What David was going through, man. Catching hell as a young boy all the way to his old age, man. Going to war. Killing the champion of the Philistines by way of a sling and a stone, man. Sunk deep into that nigga's skull, man. You know? Bringing deliverance. That's what Yahushua is going to bring, man. We have to believe and hope in that. Okay? And let me finish that. Revelations 11 and 13. And the same hour was there a great earthquake, and that 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the Most High of heaven. The second woe was past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. That's the ICBM missile, man. The Third World War. And we're warning and telling you people about. I'm going to finish this one up. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1, verse 7. For the Spirit of the Lord filleth the world, and that which containeth all things has knowledge of his voice. Therefore he that speaketh unrighteous things cannot be hid. Neither shall vengeance, when it punish, pass him by. So the vengeance of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua ain't going to pass you by, man. It's going to take you out. For inquisition shall be made into the counsels of the ungodly. Yeah, he's going to, what does it say? Frustrate their enterprise. In the book of, what is it, Job? win, man. This is Job chapter 5, verse 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. That's right. So he's going to interrupt that, man. He's going to frustrate that. It says, for the inquisition shall be made into the counsels of the ungodly, and the sound of his words shall come unto the Lord for the manifestation of his wicked deeds. For the ear of jealousy heareth all things, and the noise of murmuring is not hid. Therefore beware of murmuring, which is unprofitable, and refrain your tongue from backbiting, for there is no word so secret that shall go for naught, and the mouth that belieth slayeth the soul. Seek not death in the error of your life, and pull not upon yourself destruction with the works of your hands. For the Most High made not death, neither hath he pleasure in the destruction of the living. For he created all things that they might have their being, and the generations of the world were healthful, and there is no poison of destruction in them, nor the kingdom of death upon the earth. For righteousness is immortal, but ungodly men have with their works and words called it to them. For when they thought to have it their friend, they consumed to naught and made a covenant with it, because they are worthy to take part with it. And that's talking about with death, man. So let's get that one in Isaiah. This is Isaiah 28 and 15. Because you have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we in agreement. You know, death, ultimately death, but also, you know, going after their lovers, the idols, the heathens, the other nations. Esau primarily now in this time, the modern day Pharaoh, all right, or the modern day Assyrian, you know, the Romans, because they're the Romans all over again. It says, hell are we at agreement, when the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. That's right. There's a scripture that brought out, said that their lies or their iniquity shall not be their power anymore, man. Okay? Because the lies and their pride is a sense of power to the wicked. Matter of fact, I think it's in the book of Psalms. Let me get it real quick. Let's see. This is Psalm 73 and 6. Their pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covered them as a garment, because that's what they use. Their intimidation, their violence, their blessing, which is the sword, modern day gun, the technology, or the ICBM missiles. That's their strength. Okay? And their pride, being arrogant. That's honored here in America. But the Lord is hateful before men and the Most High. Their eyes stand out with fatness, that they have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Therefore his people return hither, and waters are of a full cup are wrung out to them. And they say, how doth the Most High know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. But we know, I read it earlier, the riches of the man ain't going to save their son. It's not going to be enough for a ransom, you know? They ain't going to be able to buy themselves out. They ain't going to be able to deliver their mother, their father, their son, daughter out of the grips of the Lord, man. Because the Lord, he's not coming back to do that. Right now, he's pleading with you. And to the elect, telling you, hey man, you need to give up, you know, the scriptures say, let me get it. You'll say it better than me. That way you can know what I'm talking about. This is 2 Ezra 16 and 40. Oh my people, hear my word. make you ready to the battle, and in those evils be even as a pilgrim upon the earth. He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose. Right? They that marry as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers, and therefore they that labor in vain. See? So you got to be as though you don't have nothing, but be prepared for the battle, and be in those evils, and be as pilgrims upon the earth. Meaning you're moving around from place to place, being a wayfaring man. That's how we're gonna have to maneuver, man. Ultimately, you know. But these people are gonna be talking about, you can't remove me from my spot, you can't take me out of my house, this is my land, this, that, and the third. The Lord's gonna be like, no, man, they're gonna take you out by way of the sword, man. You know, he's not even gonna plead with you, he's not gonna talk with you, he's not gonna do none of that. He's doing that right now. Like I said, we're telling the elect, whoever the elect is, to let these things go. Get yourself in order, repent, and get into this word, go onto the highways and the byways, man. Stop bullshitting. You want to come confident to the throne of glory. You know, you don't want to come in your mind thinking that, oh man, I didn't do enough, doubting the shit. The Lord don't like that. The Lord don't like, the Lord loves a confident man, but a broken and contrite, humble man, but knows that, hey, this is what I did, Lord, I hope it's good enough. This is what I did to the best of my ability. The Lord's either going to tell you, rise up, faithful servant, or he's going to tell you, depart from me, you work of iniquity. One or the other. You know? It says back in Isaiah 28 and 16, therefore thus saith the Lord power, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste. That's talking about Yahweh Shai. Judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet. And the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the waters shall overflow the hiding places. That's right, that's what's going to happen. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it. Like I read in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1, when it goes by you, it's not going to pass you by. That punishment, it's going to kill you. You're going to die. The death angel, man. For the time that it goeth forth, it shall take you. For morning by morning shall it pass over. It's going to just keep coming, man. Day or night, it ain't going to matter. Morning time, evening, afternoon, evening, keep going. Keep going. Until Yahweh Bashim Yahushua says, now it's time. Bring them up. Bring the elect. Send those missiles out. He's going to crack them clouds. It's going to be crazy, man. People, we're not going to be able to process it immediately. Like right now, people are not able to process what's going on right in the world. They're just in their houses chilling, thinking it's just another day. Oh, this is a vacation. I'm just kicking back, playing Xbox, and making fucking videos. What do they do on these different apps and shit? Have no form of edification, not doing nothing. They're not really soaking what's going. They're not really soaking in what's going on, the severity of it, man. But it's really gonna a big major change is gonna come out of this. How this is not gonna be. It's not gonna be the same after this, man. I remember when I first came in. Racism has always been here. I've always known that. But for some people, because we know what it is, they like to live in denial. They don't want to hear none of that. They just want to be friendly with everybody. They want to get along with everybody. But you can't deny that it's not here. You can't deny that. But some people do. So what ended up happening for some people here in my city, when Donald Trump got in office, boom. There was, he started stirring up a lot of people, and then people started changing up. We saw how a lot of these white people started acting, trying to big them up, make them, you know, like they're all badass and shit. You know? But anyways, it's always been here. It's always happened in California, in different parts of Texas, you know. But you know, and it's not gonna be the same again, man. People are already paranoid. They already tell, like I said, they're telling people at their jobs, you see anybody that's sneezing, coughing, or looks like they're not feeling well, take them to HR, take them somewhere, report it. They're already turning people into snitches, man. When they need to be looking at greater things. What's happening within your city? What are they getting ready to do? You know, looking out in the heavens, looking to see if you see military. You know, that's what you're supposed to be looking out for. That's why the Lord told you in Matthew 24, when you see the abomination of desolation set foot, you better get the fuck out, man. And what happened at that time? During the time of 70 AD, man. Vespasian and his son Titus, the Romans, right, came in and destroyed Jerusalem by way of fire. And it's recorded approximately 1 million Jews fled from Israel to Africa, man. Okay? So that right there in itself is giving us an indicator on what we need to do. You know? But the Spirit's going to reveal that to every brother in his time, in his own time. We're just going to have to wait and see. But these people, they're not really taking it in as how serious this thing really is. You know? But I'm gonna jump down to Psalm 73 and 17. Until I went into the sanctuary, the Most High didn't understood either end. Surely thou didst set them in slippery place. So coming into this truth, this is the sanctuary, a safe place. This is where we're gonna sit down and learn and understand things, being taught. Then you're going to see the truth. Then you understand the end. Then we start to begin to understand the end of days. Okay? Who is the enemy? Who is the end of the world? What is the end of the world? Then you understand. Then you understand why. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou castedest them down into destruction. Who's doing that though? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay? How are they brought into in desolation as in a moment? Because we know in Revelation, Great Babylon is going to be brought down in 1 hour. It ain't going to take too long for this place to be destroyed. They are utterly consumed with terrors. That's right, and it's going to be great terrors upon the earth. Horror, like it says in Ezekiel. Let me get it.